Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is what if Midoriya was the reincarnation of Naruto with Kurama. So last time we left off with Midoriya having the battle trial uh beginning. So Midoriya is still first, but the teams are different. It's actually Midoriya and Todoroki versus Kirishima and Bakugo. So Bakugo and Kirishima actually are pretty good friends. So they decide that they don't care about the thing that they have to protect, and they just want to go and fight and show that they're the strongest. So them two basically search for Midoriya and uh, Todoroki, and Todoroki and Midoriya are making a plan, and they say, okay, so if I distract, Bakugo is probably going to be the one attacking me. So if I distract him, then you can get past him and you can go and verse Kirishima on your own. And Todoroki is actually fine with it. Remember, this is not the same Midoriya from or if Midoriya was offered to join the League of Villains. That's a more cold Midoriya. This is like the normal Midoriya just with Kurama. So he's not completely hate. He doesn't completely hate Bakugo, but he doesn't like Bakugo just as much as he used to. Like, he still considers him a bit of a friend, but not too much, because he realizes how much Bakugo did to him, and that Bakugo doesn't deserve his friendship, but he wants to give Bakugo another chance. So basically, once they meet up again, is that Katsuki, well, not Katsuki, I mean Kachan, and basically Bakugo kind of is happy inside that Midoriya doesn't completely hate him, because he doesn't hate Midoriya, to be honest. He's just it's just his personality and how he's been spoiled by everyone around him by calling him the best or the coolest or something, and he always thought that him compared to Midoriya, he was better. That's why. So he's kind of happy, but he still wants to fight him. But then basically Midoriya realizes that it's not only Bakugo, but it's Kirishima as well, and basically he realizes that two of them together, he won't be able to keep up with them unless he uses most of Kurama's strength right now, because he's not a master of all for one. I mean one for all, and he realizes that he will need the Nine Tails' power. So basically he says, hey Todoroki, change of plans, we'll fight them together, and then we'll have to beat them somehow. If not, we've lost. And Todoroki is like, how about I keep them at bay, and then you go for the target. And Midoriya's like, no, we cannot, because Midoriya doesn't want to like leave someone back to fight two people stronger than him. And plus he's like, remember, Kachan is going for me, not for you, so he'll definitely follow me and he'll leave Kirishima here, so it'll be harder for us to fight. And Todoroki's like, but isn't it better for us to be separated then? And Midoriya's like, yes, but if we're separated, then I think it's going to be harder to get the thing, since no one's near the target. And Todoroki's like, that doesn't really make sense, Midoriya. And Midoriya's like, I know, but I just don't want to leave you back. And Todoroki's like, what? But why? And then Bakugo says, stop muttering, and basically he does an explosion. And Midoriya's like, we'll have to fight them together, just please listen to me. Midoriya has a plan. Basically he wants Todoroki to freeze them, and then Midoriya is going to use a bit of his all for one power to not all for one for all. I'm always getting confused. One for all power, basically to boost Todoroki. So Todoroki has to make a like some kind of ice hammer or something, and just smash through the ceiling that is going to get him to the target. So basically Midoriya will just boost him, so it's quicker for both of them instead of for one of them to search for the target. And if you keep going to the top, you'll find it. So Midoriya's like, you understand, Todoroki? And Todoroki is like, yeah, but we have to first stop them. But it's not going to be easy, since Midoriya doesn't know that Todoroki doesn't like using his fire side. So Midoriya was actually expecting him to use his fire, his hot half of the his half hot and half cold. And basically once Todoroki basically freezes Kirishima or his legs, and then basically Bakugo, he does an explosion, so Kirishima is freed, and a bit of the floor is kind of destroyed, and Bakugo and Kirishima are about to attack Midoriya and Todoroki, until Midoriya says all for one, full cowling for 6%. No, he doesn't say all for one, he just says, he says in his mind, and then basically he says air pressure attack, and basically puts 20% of all for one, one for all. God damn it, man. And basically he I keep reading my script wrong. So basically he puts from 6% he goes to 20% of one for all, and basically does he roundhouse kicks the air, so there's a lot of air pressure, and Midoriya, well, Bakugo and Kirishima are blown back, and then Midoriya's like, now let's do freeze them, and basically Todoroki used a lot of ice, basically so much ice that they got sent out of the building, and they got frozen like mid-air, not mid-air, there's like an ice floor, and they're frozen there, and Midoriya's like, now let's do this, and basically Todoroki makes some kind of basically barrier, or a shield, a massive shield with spikes on it, and he was holding onto it with both hands, and Midoriya basically froze him up, and basically Todoroki breaks up to the second last floor, the one before the target, because Midoriya put less power and says, now you have to go get to the last floor. We can't break the floor to the target as well. If this was a real mission, people could get hurt. And Todoroki understands and says, alright Midoriya, but, and then Midoriya's like, you have to be quick, they might come back. And basically as soon as Todoroki leaves and tries to get to the top floor, Bakugo arrives, and basically what happens is that Kirishima and Bakugo did break out thanks to Bakugo's explosion quirk, and then basically Bakugo throws Kirishima into where the second last floor where they saw Todoroki going to, and because of Kirishima's hardening quirk, it didn't really hurt him breaking through the building, and Bakugo's like, Deku, come here, and basically what Midoriya does is backflips and basically kicks Bakugo on the chin and says, no Kachan, we're going to win this, and basically he sends Bakugo onto the ceiling, onto the next floor, and Bakugo is so pissed that he wants to use his full strength, his full power. He's not pissed that he's not strong enough, he's just pissed that he actually got kicked by Deku or Midoriya, that he thought he's way stronger, but he doesn't completely want to kill him like in the original, because this Midoriya has been a bit colder to him, and he did realize that, and then now that Midoriya's trying to be a bit kinder to him, he's kind of happier, and he doesn't want to completely destroy Midoriya to a millions of pieces, and basically he's still gonna use his full power blast, but what happens is that Midoriya realizes that blast isn't something to joke around with, and so basically he uses a bit of the he uses the KCM speed boost, not the full KCM, and he's behind Bakugo, and he's like, sorry Kachan, and basically taps him on the back of the neck, and Bakugo's out of the fight. So then Midoriya's like, okay, I gotta head to Todoroki, he might be having some trouble, and then basically the battle trial's over. Todoroki throws Kirishima, he froze most of Kirishima's body, so basically his two arms are frozen and his legs are frozen as well. It's just that his body and, well, his chest and his head are unfrozen, but he cannot get out, and basically Midoriya's like, oh, we won, I'll get you out of there, and Midoriya uses a bit of air pressure to break the ice, and then basically Todoroki arrives, and he doesn't want to use his fire, so he says, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to use my fire, and Midoriya's kind of confused, but he thinks that maybe Todoroki is just tired or something, and that he's just tired, don't worry, and they go off, and the rest of the fights are pretty boring, I don't want to go over them. So now we done the two arcs in season 1, the last one. So the USJ attack. So basically, I'll say this is like a week later, and Midoriya, Bakugo, Kirishima, and Todoroki have been training because uh, a bit together as well, except for Bakugo. He declined, but and I'll say Kirishima declined as well because he wanted to train with Bakugo, and Bakugo trains with Kirishima. So Todoroki, uh, Todoroki, Midoriya, Ida, and Uraraka are in like a little group of friends, and also the other classmates do start training together because they saw how the fight between Todoroki and Midoriya, Todoroki and Midoriya versus Bakugo and Kirishima, that it was really hard. And if that was just between their classmates, imagine in a real fight against a villain, and this is happening in real life. So Midoriya convinces everyone to train together. So they were training together for a week after school, and they all became friends. Even Bakugo and Kirishima actually joined them once because Bakugo was just Kirishima just dragged him into it, and Bakugo's like, I don't want to do this, but he has to. And they kind of get to know their quirk a little bit better, and Midoriya kind of geeks out on them, and he writes a lot of notes and a lot of strategies to basically work as a team, and also like how to beat each other's quirk or how the weaknesses that they should improve. So Midoriya was a real big help by his knowledge about quirks and how the people can improve them and how they can work together, and his strategies. So that will come in handy in the USJ attack. So imagine you know how Kaminari, Yaoyorozu, and I forgot the other girl's name, they were stuck together and they worked pretty well as a team thanks to Yaoyorozu's plan. But yeah, this time it will be a lot easier for them to work as a team because before it was kind of harder since Kaminari couldn't go all out straight away. So if something bad happens to them and they're in a situation where they have to use teamwork, it will be a lot faster since they know how to use teamwork. So and Midoriya has given them like all the possible outcomes if they got separated or something. So each classmate with another classmate in pairs or in groups of 3 or 4, and so on and so on. So now we begin the USJ attack. So at the beginning it's pretty much the same. They walk in and then they get attacked by all the villains and they get they get warped away in different spots. So Midoriya and Tsu and Mineta get stuck on the boat, and they see that there are a lot of villains, thugs in the water that have quirks related to swimming or something. And Midoriya's like, we have the disadvantage here, and Tsu then says, don't forget about me. But then Midoriya's like, even if we have you, we still have the disadvantage since it's basically you against all of them, and me and Mineta can barely do anything. And Tsu's like, we can figure something out. And basically Midoriya realizes that he could use air pressure on the water to create a whirlpool, and Mineta could basically throw his sticker balls, so they basically, it slows their swimming down, so they won't be able to escape the whirlpool that Midoriya will make. And then Tsu will just jump out, use her tongue extension, and basically catch them mid-air. And basically that plan kind of works a bit better, more smoothly than the original, because they were just working together for the first time, but this time it wasn't. And also it wasn't as strong, but it was much smoother, so it was easier for them to escape. But in the end, the whirlpool wasn't as strong, so the thugs weren't completely out of the game yet, but they're useless anyway, so they don't matter even if they're out or in. So while this is all happening, Aizawa was still fighting every single villain that he comes up against, and then basically everyone does their thing and they beat the villains that they were versing each. And then basically Midoriya arrives to where 13 and basically everyone else was, and they see that a normal appears, and they help out Ida get out of the USJ, and and then go get other teachers to help. So basically, in the end, the USJ attack isn't the same at all, because Midoriya realizes that if All Might's not here, he will have to finish this, because he has the power. To be honest, he could actually be on par with All Might if he used KCM, to maybe even stronger if he really tried, because he knows about All Might's injuries. But then Kurama did tell him that if All Might was fully healed, even with KCM at this stage, or this well, how Midoriya is right now, he would get pummeled. But if it was the All Might right now, he would actually have a much better chance in beating him. But there's no point of even showing him, since then, yeah, your training with this new quirk won't be as useful. And by the way, there are other things that happen, like, but this is going to be in season 2, which I'm probably going to cover, but not in this part. Maybe in this part. Let me see how long I've been doing this for. 15 minutes. I'll probably cover it, since I'm probably gonna do a half-an-hour video. So while Ido's trying to go get help, Todoroki tries to freeze what's his name, Shigaraki, and and then basically Bakugo actually still catches Kurogiri, just like in original, and they tried to finish him off, but they of course flop, because Shigaraki nearly touched them. But then, instead of 13 saving them, what happens is basically Midoriya uses his air pressure to basically blow away Shigaraki with the Nomu, because the Nomu wasn't really paying attention. No way, I say the Nomu caught Shigaraki, and Shigaraki was caught, and Bakugo was blown away, and he was like falling back down until basically he basically blasted himself next to Midoriya and said, "Midoriya, what the hell did you just use?" And Midoriya's like, "This is the air pressure attack I learned." And Baku's like, "We might that might come in handy if he tries to touch me." And basically, Midoriya's like, "We need to find out what that guy was trying to do to you by touching you." And basically, what Midoriya does is he appears in front of Shigaraki, and everyone's confused on what just happened. Midoriya just blasted into him because he blitzed him, to be honest. Then Shigaraki just decided to try to touch him, but then Midoriya just left the glove in his place and then moved back, and then Shigaraki touched the glove, caught it, and basically he just disintegrated. And they realized that his quirk is most probably disintegration, or something to do with destroying, just like 13's one, where she can vacuum someone and then, well, suck them into her fingers and basically annihilate them, and he could kill. So basically they realized that Shigaraki isn't joking around, and he wants to actually literally murder them. So Midoriya thinks of a plan of actually trying to beat them. So basically Midoriya will try to punch the ground so hard that he breaks the ground underneath everyone, and then basically Todoroki tries to freeze them through the gaps and through the through the gaps that Midoriya made into the ground, so the ice would come through from underground, and then basically Bakugo will have to blast them into oblivion until they are out of the fight. So basically they're about to try that, but then what happens is that after Midoriya punches the ground, the Nomu takes Kurogiri. Well, Kurogiri basically is about to whoop away the Nomu and then Shigaraki, but then the Shigaraki is like, "Nomu now," and the Nomu basically appears in front of Midoriya and punches him in the gut, and basically Midoriya goes flying, and everyone's like, "Wait, what?" So then Midoriya says, "Everyone get back," and they look back and they see Midoriya appearing out of nowhere and trying to punch the Nomu, and that just didn't work. And basically the Nomu is about to punch Midoriya again in the guts, and then All Might appears with Ida, and All Might basically punches the Nomu away, catches basically Midoriya, and is like, "Don't worry, students, I am here." And basically the same things pretty much happen here. All Might still gets stabbed, and basically Midoriya does still save him and whatever. and in the end the normal student is defeated, and they find out that he had multiple quirks, like uh was a was a I forgot the quirks, but it's fine, no one really wants to know. If you want to know, you can just watch My Hero Academia season 1 or just search it up. And that's pretty much it for season 1. So now we are going into season 2. So season 2 starts off with basically the well, the sports festival. So the sports festival are announced, and some people don't understand why it is so important, and some are completely hyperventilating, because the sports festivals are really important for aspiring heroes, because other agencies will be trying to recruit some sidekicks, and maybe these and the agencies they work with now, they might be the ones that they will work with in the future, and everyone's pretty excited. And here the same things happen. Midoriya does still have to talk to All Might, and All Might told him about that he has to basically smile and say to the world that he is here. And you know, the same thing, and Midoriya is under pressure, and he keeps training a lot. He trains so hard, and basically what's his name? I mean, Todoroki realized that Midoriya is really strong, and he is training extremely hard because he wants to beat Midoriya in this next in this coming sports festival, because he knows that the biggest two challenges for him is basically Midoriya and Bakugo, and Midoriya realizes that the two biggest challenges for him are Bakugo and Todoroki, but Todoroki is more it's actually Bakugo, Todoroki, and Tokoyami, because he knows about Tokoyami's Dark Shadow and how that Dark Shadow can actually be really useful. And if it's he doesn't know about its weakness, so he doesn't have really too many things to counter that. And Tokoyami didn't really tell him about Dark Shadow's weakness, because he knew something was coming, because every year there's a sports festival, and he wanted to see. He didn't want to tell everyone about his weakness, or people will know, and he will be countered really hard, and he'll lose, just like what happened with what's his name? Was it Bakugo? Nah, yeah, I think it's Bakugo. I don't even know. So basically, Midoriya trains a lot harder. Bakugo's like, I'm going to kill every single one of them, especially Midoriya. And here the same things happen, except for basically Midoriya. You know how at the beginning of the race, everyone gets frozen, and a few people get out. I'll say Midoriya is one of them this time, and you know when Todoroki basically freezes a whole entire 0.0 robot, and he's about to make it fall. What happens is that Midoriya is like, I might as well just help these lot out, and he says he basically says Detroit kick. I'll just say Detroit kick instead of smash, and he basically smashes the robot into a million pieces, so everyone is able to get out of the way and no one will get hurt. And Midoriya actually catches a piece and says this might come in handy. Wait, sorry guys, I'm getting a message. I don't understand who is messaging me now. I should put do not disturb mode when I'm recording. Anyway, so let's keep going. So Midoriya catches a piece of it. It's like the normal one. He's like, maybe this might come in handy. He's just thinking of the future, since Midoriya is a worrybot here, and Kurama's telling him, hey Midoriya, take peace. You never know what could happen, and if you have to use a weapon. Since the hero course isn't able to use a weapon, and the support course are, he might need it in case something's come up, since the support course are allowed to use their gadgets while the hero course aren't. And he thinks that maybe maybe there is something that the support course can't overcome without gadgets, but the hero course can with their extremely powerful quirks. And he can't really show that all his power and the KCM power. So he wants to have a weapon like object or something similar. So he just takes a piece, and basically that's two bits of the race done. And the next part of the race is pretty much the same. With Midoriya isn't first. It's actually Bakugan and Todoroki fighting off, because he doesn't want to show every single one of them his speed. And what the excuse that he made up for his speed boost is that he was just in the heat of the moment and he didn't understand what he did. So people believed him because they don't know about Midoriya's actual power, but who cares? And Midoriya didn't want to show people, or people were going to get really suspicious that he's hiding something. So he still does his plan of using the explosions, and Kurama's just laughing in his head. You brat, why would you do that? You know that will hurt you as well. And Midoriya's like, as long as I can come first, it's fine. And he actually comes first in the end. Right at the end, he decides to use a bit of All For One's, well, the new power he found of All For One. He basically uses 7% of not All For One, One For All. I always get confused, sorry guys. He uses One For All full cowling at 7% instead of 6, and he is a lot faster here, because at the beginning he used like 5% of it because he didn't want to show that he's way faster than everyone. But if he uses 7%, he's actually a bit faster than Todoroki and Bakugo, but he didn't want to show them, and he wanted to get a guaranteed win, so he used 7% right at the end, and he was completely ahead. So first was Midoriya, then Todoroki, Bakugo, and then everyone else came in. So that was pretty much the same, and basically All Might is just there. He stood up and said, "Yes, let's go!" And because he was gassed that Midoriya actually came first. So now we get to the cavalry battle. So the cavalry battle goes pretty much a bit more different than usual, but it actually goes a lot different, except for the team makings. Everything else goes the same. So basically Midoriya is gets the 10 million points, and he realizes that he effed up. He should have came second or third, because now every single one of them is going to go after him, and most people are going to avoid him because they don't want to get targeted straight away from the get-go. And Midoriya still gets offered an offer by Uraraka, and then basically Mei, or Hatsume, whatever you guys call it. I'll say Mei. She says that she wants to join since she needs to show off her babies. And basically then by the way, I didn't mention that what's his name, Todoroki did still challenge Midoriya, and Midoriya accepted with a smile. Says, "I'll take you on and I'll win." And basically he asked Ida, and Ida basically said, "Midoriya, I'm sorry, but Todoroki is not the only one who's challenging you, but I want to challenge you as well." And so Ida is still in Todoroki's team, and basically Midoriya is thinking of who could be the best candidate, and basically he realizes that the one that the other person that could really be a good help is Tokoyami and Dark Shadow. So he goes up to him, and Tokoyami accepts. So at the beginning it's pretty much the same, with Midoriya trying to dodge everyone and Tokoyami protecting them. But then once Mineta, Tsu, and basically I forgot the limb guy's name, but the guy that can make multiple limbs, they still attack them, and they kind of destroy, break one of the Hatsume's or Mei's. They kind of destroy one of the foot gear that she gave, or the feet gear that she gave Uraraka to fly up. So that kind of slows them down, and Midoriya's like, "Alright, so what do we do now?" And basically they still do get trapped by Todoroki, and they do still get attacked with the reciprocal burst. But what happens is that Midoriya this time, he actually saw this coming, and because he knew Ida was always hiding something, because he could feel that Ida doesn't want to show his special move or something. So what he does is he actually ducks down, but his headband's still taken. But what Midoriya does is that he takes every single headband except for the one on Todoroki's forehead from him. So Midoriya loses the 10 million one, but he gets all the other ones. So Todoroki's first, and then Midoriya is second, and Midoriya's like, I won't allow them to win, and we need to attack. So basically, Midoriya does still attack them, and Tokiyami this time he's able to actually get the 200 points instead of but the 10 million was still Todoroki. So in the end, Todoroki came first, then Midoriya with I think a few more points, a lot more points with than. No, I'll say a few more points than Bakugo, and then Bakugo, and then I'll say then it's Shinso's group, and other people do and then we get into the battles. So I will leave it off here. So this is it for part 3 of What If Midoriya had was Naruto's reincarnation with Kurama. So I'm going to leave it off here. And last time I said that I will put light goal on part 2, but I completely forgot. I was really tired. Today I'm a little bit more energetic than usual. I don't know why, but after this month I will be completely energetic. And summer vacation is nearly here, so it's not much left, like 2 or 3 months left. June, July, yeah, it's 2 months left. And anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Please for the next part, for part 4 to come out, I'll say 30, no, I'll make it low because I like the series. I'll say 30, 25 likes, there we go, just in the middle, 30 and 20, 25 likes. I didn't want to make it too low but not too high right from the get-go. So 25 likes for part 4. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Also, I made a new Instagram. I will put it down in the link in the description, and please follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and also join my Discord, link in the description. And one more thing, please sub to RATREET and Miniman. They're a really big help to my YouTube channel. Miniman always provides me with the gameplay. I know it's pretty much the same, but I'm going to ask him for new gameplay if I'm allowed, because I don't want to just take it from him. I need to ask for permission. And RATREET helps me a lot. Sometimes he uploads the videos for me, since his upload speed is like 23 times faster than me, like literally 23 times, maybe even 230 times, I don't even know. And also he made my Discord server. I really appreciate him, and I hope you all sub to him. Please get them to 200 subscribers. And also, we just hit 800 subscribers the other day. I am so happy. We're so close to 1000. We're growing so fast. And now that I check every day, I check my YouTube and YouTube Studios, and I just realized that my subscriber watch time from subscribers actually changed. It's actually a lot higher. Subscribed are 33% and not subscribed are 67. Before it was like 19 or something and 81, something like that. And I'm really happy that it increased, but let's try to make it at least 50-50 or maybe 100% subscribed. If you guys are still not subscribed and you're new here, please consider subscribing, and also share the video, like it, and comment down if you like the this part, because your feedback helps me a lot. And also, I have been getting good feedback on this what if, so that's why I'm making the next part so soon. And one more thing, the what if's still doing really good. In fact, it actually beat every record, every typical expectation of YouTube Studios. Like views, typical is 219 to 296, and now it's 328, so it's up. Average view duration, typical should be 6 minutes 21 seconds or to 8 minutes 21 seconds, now it's on 8 minutes 29. And watch time, instead of the typical was 1.2 to 2.4k in minutes, now it's on 2.8k. I'm really happy about this, and it's a lot of minutes, to be honest. And right now I'm on 631,700 minutes on watch time. That's over 10,000 hours. That's a lot of hours, just saying. I'm really happy about this, and we hit over 50k views, and I hope we keep going up, we keep hitting like goals, and we get to 1,000 subscribers really soon. By the end of the month, my expectations are 950. I know it's a lot, but I'm on 818, so I hope we can all get to that together. So please share my channel, share my videos to anyone that you think they will like my content. But if not, it's fine. I'll try to grow my channel on my own. And anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Please take care, stay safe, and this is the King of Weaves here. Peace.